Welcome everyone to the MMOs.com podcast. This is episode 49 now, and this is Altai, joined by...
Omer.
Gumble.
Matt.
Sure, yeah.
The whole team is here.
With a cough.
Uh-oh. Still.
It is the whole team.
Still.
It wouldn't be the whole team if you weren't coughing, to be honest, at this point.
That's true.
The cough is a member of the team at this point.
It's like
He's had it for a year.
I think it's like chronic at this point.
Shoot, you gotta stop smoking those 8 packs a day, alright?
Hey, don't smoke bokes here. It's not good for you.
You know, I've never smoked in my life anything.
Nothing.
Never.
Bullshit.
Not even like
you
a
told
puff,
me.
nothing.
You told me like a week ago you were smoking some ribs, alright? Fucking liar.
Wow.
She literally told me
Oh,
she
you
was smoking the
caught, you
ribs.
caught me. You
Get
caught
pumped.
me. I was smoking some ribs.
Alright,
the other day.
Shrelia, liar confirmed, everybody. Liar confirmed. Get wrecked. So, daily raid, Gumby, hit us off.
Weekly raid.
So, we always
Weekly
recap
raid.
the last week. Last week we were talking about party systems. I'm actually going to change it up a bit. I'm going to read the top comment here from Socrates, which is a great name. Basically, he said that the loss of social interaction is somewhat odd. But the idea is that people who use a party finder to begin with are going to be... they're not going to be as social in the first place. You know, when you go to use a party finder, it's going to appeal most to people who are a little bit antisocial like myself and don't want to talk to any new.
I disagree. I disagree.
Well, I know
heavily.
that's fine, but we're not going to get into it. We had the
Okay.
conversation last week, so
Okay.
good point, and I think it does say something about the population of MMOs. But anyway, moving on to this week, because this week we have a big one we want to talk about, and it's going to segue us through the entire podcast. Especially with Omer here. This week, we're asking, how do you judge a crowdfunding project? You know, more developers, both established and indie, are turning to sites like Kickstarter and Indiegogo to fund their projects. But how do you know that the project you're funding is even going to be completed? There's no step-by-step guideline. There's no real criteria. Sometimes you just see this amazing, mind-blowing, it's your perfect game, but you know the guy who's making it has never done anything before. So should you fund them? On the one hand, there was a guy who went and he made a potato salad, and he raised money. I know that even though he doesn't have credentials, I have a feeling he can make that potato salad. You know what he did? At the same time, some indie team that wants to make like a sci-fi naval MMO, and they've never done anything before, they don't really have a resume. How do I know that when I give them my money, the project's going to come to fruition? So we're asking you guys and asking everyone here, how do you judge a crowdfunding project?
So
before we get into specific examples, just give a...
Okay, so what
breakdown.
we're talking about specifically is not how we judge their success, but how we decide whether to support it or not.
Right, exactly.
Okay. All right, well, mine is very simple. If they're crowdfunding, I'm not supporting them.
Really?
I'm
Not at
actually-
all.
I mean,
I'm with Airhunt on that one because, like, the one time I actually did believe in a crowdfunding project enough to put $20 into it, it turned out to be a complete letdown. So I'm just like, I'd rather not take the risk myself than even like believe in it at all.
for me,
I think that what you guys say is interesting because there are successful Kickstarters and Indiegogos. Remember that?
right, well,
They're not all just
that was my
making
point. My point is not, like, I don't feel so bad on my $20. The problem is this. If I see a project, even if I think it's interesting, I know that if I kickstart, if I get involved in the hype at that point, it's going to be like 3 years until it sees fruit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
That too.
for me, the lag between my enthusiasm and the waning of my enthusiasm is too short these days. So I'd rather not read about it, not hear about it, not follow it, and wait till it's closer
And
to
just play
release.
it.
Yeah,
100%.
rather than lose interest.
Guys, that is literally longer than planting a tree and seeing fruit.
That's a good point.
That's a good point. All right,
Well, I
but-
mean, even the successful Kickstarters don't even like normally. A lot of them haven't turned out the way they're supposed to. Especially if you look at like, okay, I bring this up a lot, but Double Fine. Basically, every one of the ones they've made has been completely not what they pitched. You know what I mean? It's like not finished, or it's not like fully realized, or it's a completely different game than they pitched. In the case of Broken Age, like it's an adventure game, but it's nothing like they pitched it. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. I'd rather not gamble on it. I'm fully aware that somebody has to if a lot of these are going to exist, but I
Not
don't
gonna
want
be
to
you.
personally put my money into it. You know what I mean?
All right, I want to jump into. You guys know how passionate I am about Kickstarter projects.
Oh, we know.
Okay, so I came across Kickstarter just a thing yesterday, and I showed it to the group, and I want to show you guys in the podcast as well. Well, first of all, the most important criteria for me is the person that's doing the Kickstarter, if they're capable or not. And you can pretty easy to look up their credentials. If they're just a guy who's never done anything before, I would never fund it or even think about funding it. And I ran into this Kickstarter campaign yesterday. It's called Absolute Terror MMORPG. All right, he was only asking
Kickstarter's an absolute terror.
It is an absolute terror of a Kickstarter. Yes, he was asking for $2,000 Canadian. He only got $51, and it's a joke of like he look at his about project. It says you're in a post-apocalyptic world in Paris where everyone has to fend for themselves. You run out to find food, weapons, equipment in your base. So he's explaining some very basic premise of the game, and that's all he's got.
But there'll be a dude. There's gonna be a party system.
Oh wow, he came up with this idea of he just came up with a setting, and that's it. It's all he's got, right? And it's so obvious. This guy he set up all his pledges and shit, right? He's hoping to get $2,000. Thank God he didn't get that money because it would be completely squandered, and he'd just keep it, right? I'm not saying it's a scam. This guy has no idea what he's doing. Literally zero idea. And what's funny is if you click on his name to see his full bio, he links to his Facebook page. Oh, this is by a guy named Michael Gerber, who literally just graduated high school earlier this year in 2016, and he works as a cashier. A cashier who just graduated from high school. What capability? How could this guy possibly make this game?
Whoa.
You know what's a red flag is that his pledges, the low tier pledges, give you like in-game permanent name stuff. That's kind of.
Do you know what the real red flag is?
You
This
look
guy's
at the
haircut.
process.
Okay, this guy's haircut is the real red flag here.
Also, I'm literally judging a book by its cover. I like it.
Well, I just want to bring up the converse of this because now we're talking about somebody who has no credentials at all. But the main reason I really wanted to bring this up was because John Romero just announced a new project and he's launching it on Kickstarter. If you don't know who John Romero is, he's one of the the creators of Doom, and really that's been his big career highlight. So now he just announced yesterday that he's teamed up with the artist that worked on Doom, Carmack, and they're making a new FPS called Black Room. Now the Kickstarter's already raised $95,000 out of $700,000, but the thing is, there's not 1 second of gameplay. It's all concept art, right? Now, when I look to judge a Kickstarter, I want to see that there's some progress done already. Now, John Romero here, in his Kickstarter and Carmack, what they're banking on is the name recognition and people believing that they can do it because they have the experience. But there's nothing here for me to say, oh, look, they've created something and I want to see it. So the idea is, sometimes you can have a big name, like Smedley's Kickstarter was also canceled. What's it called? The
Hero
Pixel
Song.
MMO?
Pixel Made Studios. is making
Hero's
it.
Song.
Hero's
Hero
Song. Right, so I'm not sure if name necessarily carries out. Sometimes so maybe there's no name to it, but they have something to show that I think can weigh more than name recognition alone.
I think seeing like a percentage of the game complete already, like a lot of Kickstarters I see are like, we're already like halfway through the game and like here's all our stuff. I think that's a big sign that they can already
some
do
actual
stuff on their
gameplay.
own.
Yes,
Well,
that's so important.
here's
Yeah.
the thing. I don't even have to see actual gameplay. You can tell by like reading a Kickstarter whether people are serious about it, whether they have a real plan in place, whether they
fair.
know what they're doing. But what I see when I look at Romero's Kickstarter is I see they got the band back together, so to speak.
I like that.
Had Adrian Carmack drop like 3 pieces of concept art, and they wrote vague descriptions about a shooter that's going to let you modify the environment using, what is it, Blexel? I can't remember. Bloxel. Bloxel, that's it. And it's just like, okay, you're going to have arena deathmatch and 1v1 deathmatch PvP, and you're going to have a 10-hour campaign. But what am I looking at? It's like... There's nothing here. It's literally a few pieces of concept art and somebody saying that he's going to let us modify the environment and mod his game to all hell.
Yeah, there's literally nothing. Look at the video. Like, there's just art and this guy talking.
Okay,
It's John Romero walking through Galway, Ireland.
here's my take on this. It's so transparent to me. This is a marketing campaign because these guys have money, right? A lot of money.
Yeah, they could fund it themselves.
And even if they didn't, the 700,000 is not enough for like what their scale. So it's obviously a marketing. And is that bad or good? I don't know. But you know,
marketing.
It's marketing, yeah.
There's a
It's
lot of
marketing.
articles out there that talk about that, how Kickstarter is now, especially for these big companies, just used as a marketing tool.
Yeah.
And
But
the extra
it's not a
money is
big
just kind of a
company.
benefit. But I'm not saying that this is a big company in particular. Other companies have done this, but this is, these are established industry veterans who I believe could go to investors and raise this money without the help of crowdfunding.
Is John Romero?
Okay,
is
so
Romero
wait,
guy an industry
wait.
veteran?
Yeah, John Romero's been
Yeah.
around since the 80s, this late 70s.
Guys, okay, so these guys are so established that John Romero's son has a video game.
They're royalty, all right? They're royalty at this point.
Yeah, Romero's considered like the father of the modern FPS. I mean, that's the name that he's. There's a documentary on just him that goes over that, how he's supposed to be the forerunner of what FPSs are today. And I guess this Black Room comes out and it's appealing, especially after the Doom open beta, to that traditional FPS style that we saw in Quake 2 and Unreal Tournament. I think that's what he's banking on. That's like the emotional reach for this Kickstarter here.
Okay, but
Go ahead.
I don't know. I have no doubt if they get the money, because there's a huge if looking at this Kickstarter,
700
that
G's.
if they get the money, that they will be able to do it. I have no doubt. It's
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
they've been in the industry for so long, there's no way they don't know how to manage money or find someone that can manage their money for them.
Mhm.
But the thing is,
How about
will
Star
it be
Citizen?
any good? You know what I mean? It's like, you look at this, you're looking at it, and also it's so vague that it could be something completely different than you expected by the time it's done.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I have no faith that this is going to make any of these Kickstarter backers happy.
Also, my problem with something like this too is like this is like a very well presented Kickstarter, and you can tell. Look at all the art they have for all the rewards, for all like they got these charts, they got these nice looking like graphics, right, in the Kickstarter campaign, and these well thought out pledge items, right? Imagine a kid like the one I linked earlier. Just he spent instead of doing it in 5 minutes, he spent like a couple of weeks work on fleshing out a really nice Kickstarter page, and then he can just scam people out of a lot of money. It just in this case it's okay because you have big names like John Romero behind it and all this other stuff. So it's this game is likely to succeed if it actually gets its funding. But a similar campaign with beautiful art and really well presented Kickstarter page could be there just to milk people out of their money if they spent more time on the presentation.
So if you're listening to this and you're a graphic design student or something,
yes,
just spend for your final project in school. Just make a really nice Kickstarter for like
Yes.
the next, orthodox VR MMORPG. $100 million budget, but we want to raise $1 million from you as the viewers. As like the fans. Boom.
honestly, you can make a lot of money doing it because all you need is a good presentation, well-written Kickstarter page, and I don't think most people really pay attention to the names behind it, especially if you have a more modest goal. If your goal is like $5,000 or $10,000, and you have a really well-presented page, and you have very vague information on your credentials, I have no doubt, and you're a good marketer, no doubt you can raise that full amount, and then you get free money. Which is why I don't like Kickstarters in general. So I need a good name behind it, and I had to see lots of gameplay before I
Well, just to take the converse here, because we've been very cynical so far, that some amazing games have come out of Kickstarter, and while I don't know many, I just know, Undertale, I think, is one of the best. Most people, it's a common consensus that Undertale is one of the best RPGs to come out.
Divinity Original Sin.
Divinity Original Sin is another great game. I love that game. So there are
Well,
really great projects that do come out of Kickstarter. So I just don't want to
Faster Than Light came out of there. Those old classic RPG, like isometric RPGs came out of there. Tides of Numenera.
Tides of Numenera.
Yeah.
So
whatever.
just
That's what I
to
said.
segue real quick, I'm worried that a bit of the cynical attitude that we were just displaying could hurt crowdfunding in the long term if more people kind of adopted the view. If they're looking for crowdfunding, I'm not going to give them my money.
Mm-hmm.
Because if everybody did that, then the whole thing falls apart, right? And a lot of these projects that are, great games, they wouldn't exist. So it's, is there more bad there than good? I'm not sure, and I hope that these like scams, like people kind of start to recognize how to judge it. That's really what brought it up for me. Brought up the question, is that I hope more people learn how to judge Kickstarters properly, or else crowdfunding could face. It could fall apart one of these days. So.
Despite my cynicism,
I was actually going to ask that. Oh, go ahead.
despite my cynicism, I do think generally it's for the best. It's for the good. There's more good than bad coming out of the whole scene of.
I think so.
Whoa! Assuming Star Citizen doesn't implode. Anyway, continue. I don't want to get into Star Citizen.
Let's not go back to Star
Let's
Citizen.
not go
You're
there.
right.
But
No,
if Star
it's
Citizen does
just-
blow up, it's bad for
It's
crowdfunding.
it's just kind of like Erhan was saying. I don't know. I don't want to put money into something that I'm not going to see for years and know I have no interest in when it
that's
comes
fair.
out.
Yes, that's probably the fairest point.
And I mean, like-
personally, too.
Like, I look at Overpower, for example, and they're like, as soon as the campaign is over, you get to play. And I'm like, okay, that's when I donate to, because I get to play it immediately.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As soon as it's done.
Mhm.
That's true.
I have a question on the Kickstarter. Just marginally off topic, but have you ever funded a crowdfunding campaign for a non-video game? Like, it could be like on Kickstarter,
Board
for example.
game.
Yeah, board. There's a lot of board games. There's a lot of like products.
No, but I do wish I had the money to donate to a lot of board games. But they're like $250 for the full set, and I'm sitting there like,
Really?
no
That's a
thanks.
lot of money.
That is a lot of money. There are a lot of miniature games that I wanted to put money into, but they had like nice pewter figurines and everything, and it's just way too
Yeah.
much.
I haven't myself, but my brother Loki kickstarts a lot of board games. Like we just got one the other day that he kickstarted. It was really nice. Like the map was all nice, and all the figures were like made out of metal. This is a beautiful game.
Nice.
I know. I heard him donate to Soylent, didn't you?
Yes, so the food
Oh,
thing.
you did?
Mm-hmm. I was one of the original backers. Like, again, but
Wow.
between when they raised money and they're shipped, it was literally like 3 years. So like something crazy.
All right. I want to touch. Let's segue to Chronicles of Elleria, because they have a crowdfunding campaign coming up too. And I actually want to tell you guys something about their crowdfunding campaign, because they reached out to me, and they were actually.
Oh, this
Yes.
is new to all of us now.
This is new to everybody. I haven't told anybody this yet. They reached
Wow.
out to me. And they wanted to purchase advertising space on MMOs.com
Okay.
on our homepage, specifically for the purpose of their Kickstarter campaign. And I thought about it, and I said no. I don't want advertisement for Kickstarters on MMOs.com. What do you guys
Oh,
think
we
about that?
Why not?
Moral position.
Really?
Why?
Because listen, first it wasn't a lot of money anyway. It's
Oh, all right. It's easy. I'm taking a position.
I'm kidding. No, listen. Obviously, if they were shoving incredible amounts of money down my throat, I'd have to think about it some more.
That's
okay?
a whole
Listen.
other ethical problem in itself.
If
Let's
they
not
were
go
shoving
there.
incredible amounts of money down your throat, I wouldn't want the ads on there because I'm like, what the fuck
Exactly.
are they using the money on anyways? Like, why do they need this Kickstarter?
When a company
That's
spends
true.
money on advertising a game that doesn't exist yet to advertise their Kickstarter campaign, that just feels wrong, doesn't it?
That does kind of feel like a pyramid scam. Like they're advertising,
That's
they're
true.
advertising their funding of a game rather than the game. Like, yeah.
Like,
that's
just take that money we're going to spend advertising your game, or advertising the Kickstarter for your game, and actually hiring artists, designers, and making your game. That's what it just seemed. It just felt so weird.
That seems very odd. Now that you say it that way,
Especially when it's a small indie team like them. It's not like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
Tim Schafer or somebody that's just going to, like, throw...
Mm-hmm. So it just, I feel like from here on forward, we're not going to accept ads for Kickstarter campaigns, because that just seems really bad. And I'm not saying the game's a scam, all right, by any means, because some people have gotten excited over it.
Let's
as
put it
they've-
this way: there's a passionate cult of fanboys behind the game, so there must be
Yes.
something worth following there.
Yes.
A very passionate Apple-esque cult. And if you like, if you were one of the ones commenting, that's how I feel about you. So,
Turkish Prince needs to get a mic check, apparently.
Is my mic too loud for you guys?
No, you're fine right now.
you have a
got
little
the close.
echo.
Hmm.
But-
I wonder if a company like this, the fact that they can afford to advertise, does that mean there's someone else who's, invested in them to
Oh,
see
yeah.
them through,
The founder is actually, he runs a SEO company, which is a
Oh,
search
really?
engine optimization company. Yeah. So I went to their website actually, and it's full of these hilarious stock pictures, right? It's like meet the team, and there's like this multiracial group of people holding folders, being all businesslike.
classic white people to
Yeah.
draw them in, the stock photos.
But yeah, so the guy, he's self-funding, and I can respect that a lot. Obviously, he's putting his
Of
own money
course.
on the line, and he's gotten where he has
believes in the
without
project.
taking it. Yeah, he believes in this project, but now he's funding his advertising for a Kickstarter campaign. That just doesn't jive well with.
Okay,
me.
but in their defense, right? Just as what we were just talking about, Kickstarter is basically for a lot of people this huge marketing thing. So you want to make sure you have the biggest possible push that first day of your Kickstarter. By them putting ads over all the major sites, it's going to draw far more attention than if they just made the Kickstarter. So maybe it is a smart tactic, and we're going to see more people do this.
you can argue it's cost efficient, all right, but it just
Yeah.
I wasn't arguing the efficiency of it because if he spends $100 on marketing and he gets $200 in pledges, it seems like a pretty good deal, right?
What I'm getting at is that Kickstarter, the reason why it feels uncomfortable because Kickstarter, in the way we look at it, is again that it's designed for people who normally couldn't afford to make their project. But what Kickstarter has transformed into is a big marketing tool for people who can afford it. And it feels it does feel
wrong. It
dirty.
feels wrong. It feels
like
dirty.
the
I can't do it.
principles or the values of Kickstarter are being warped. And that tends to happen, doesn't it? So it does feel perverted, that's for sure.
So this Chronicles of Elria game, are you putting on the trailer in the background?
Yeah.
I think this is the PAX Combat trailer. What do you guys think about this game?
Well, I am convinced that unlike John Romero, they're not about to make you their bitch.
I mean, say what you will, though, the combat does look like it's a little bit more involved than a traditional
It looks
MMORPG.
functional, but the engine looks a little dated visually.
I think combat looks very awkward.
I
Extremely
agree.
awkward.
It looks
It feels
awkward.
early for sure.
Yeah. But they at least gave it
No,
more
I mean,
thought than
even
most
on-
MMORPGs.
Even
Could
on
that
a
just be a lot?
Okay, Sean. Even
Could
on a
that just be a lot of
conceptual
graphics,
level,
though?
for me, even on a conceptual level, it looks
Yeah.
really awkward.
Mhm.
I mean, like just the whole dodging around
Fencing?
like that. It's not. It's not fencing. Like I've played Nidhogg, and Nidhogg did fencing really
Oh,
well.
Nidhogg was
Like,
amazing. That was a fun.
I mean, Nidhogg is like a 2D game, though. I mean, it's
Mhm.
Game's
But
awesome.
just
kind of
watching,
different.
just watching them dodge around the way they do, it looks so awkward.
I also, this is just one aspect of the game, and I felt it looked awkward or janky, if you want to use my favorite word, man's favorite word there. This game is touting a lot of really cool features on paper, and so far we haven't seen much. I mean, this is the first time we've seen footage of the game that isn't just basically what's ripped from an engine. But just to go over, Chronicles of Illyria is basically going to be an MMORPG that's going to have this aging and dying mechanic, where you'll create a family, and you'll play a character until they die from old age, right? And then from that point on, your skills will be inherited by your next character. Not totally. So the idea is that your character basically has a soul that kind of internalizes whatever you do in that life before it's transferred to another. And that's a really neat feature on paper, but we haven't seen anything, practically. Like the same thing with contracts. The whole idea is you have this player economy, and people will create contracts with their players for them to perform work. But we haven't.
Unless they do it themselves,
Now,
It's just
wait,
like. Go ahead.
does this game have permadeath?
Yeah, I guess the idea it is permanent death, but you just get another character.
Yeah,
anyway
but
that
let's say
inherits the
before
skill.
you reach old age, let's say you get killed by a goblin, all right? Do you reach
Yeah.
No, they have spirit
As
weapon
far
of some
as
sort.
as far as I know, it's when you die, you lose like lifespan. Isn't that how it works?
Yeah, you lose
I
lifespan, and
remember.
you have to spirit walk.
Yeah, you.
Interesting. All right, you gotta get the points on the design aspect and the conceptual aspect, right?
Yeah,
but
it's
that's
really-
the problem.
Okay, but
Concept alone is nothing.
But here's the thing. I am 100% sure that they're going to be like, okay, let's say because it's such a niche thing, they get like 50,000 players playing for the first life because
That's
you
a
don't
lot
have
of people,
to,
by the way.
you don't have to pay after the first life, right? Until your next life. Your next life is what you pay for. You don't pay per month or whatever.
It's actually
So-
a cool model, all right?
I'm 100% sure that those 50,000 players are going to go in. The first 10,000 are going to die a few times, and they're going to quit because they're done with it.
Mhm.
And the rest of them are going to make it to their first life, and approximately 35,000 are going to quit after their first life is over.
Yeah, you're assuming the game's gonna come out. Keep in mind, all right? That's a big if right now, all right? We
I'm-
haven't got a hurdle over the Kickstarter thing just yet, all right? It's still very far from completion. It looks like.
I'm 100% sure that's how it's going to go. 100%.
All right, interesting.
Well, I'm sure what they'll do then is just instead of Steam sales, they'll email everybody and say, "Hey, another life. Here's another life for you. Get the population back."
That's approximately 8 months of play. I don't think they're going to do that.
All right, but listen. Here's another issue with a game like this. Think about it. Okay, let's say your character dies and you suffer that penalty, right? You lose X amount of life when you die. They're going to be so tempted to sell overpowered cash up stuff like it gets rid of any of your penalties on death. And you could say, yeah, they won't do that, but it's so tempting to do that when you can make money doing it. Because take an older game like Shea, for example. It has a hardcore mode, right? And hardcore means if you die forever, just like in the Diablo games. Hardcore
After
mode.
3 times.
All right, you die, you're permadead in share, right? Unless you carry a cash app item with you that it gets consumed on use. It doesn't count. That was a JK death. And so a lot of hardcore players just
That's
keep buying the
bullshit,
cash app.
man.
Yeah, obviously it's bullshit. You need a cash app item for it to work, and they can sell so many of those items because every hardcore player, when you're dead, right, you have an option to buy that item. So you're like, should I lose 100 hours of my life, or should I pay $10 to buy this item? Come on, the choice is obvious. You're gonna spend the $10.
You think people run downstairs to their wallet?
Yeah.
like shit. You just run downstairs. It's like, oh fuck, there's no wallet. Where's my mom's wallet?
So shit like that's gonna happen, and I'm not saying it's gonna happen in Chronicles of Elria, but when a game is set up like that, where there's a big penalty, it's gonna be always tempting to avoid that penalty.
I don't know. I'm not 100% sure that would be overpowered because, like, if you get partial skills back, say you maxed out your skills, I don't know what the max is or if it's even, like, plausible to reach it, but, like, say you max out your skills and you get, like, 50% back, you spend a little bit of your time, like, the first month that you're back with your new character, grinding them back up, and then you're just on equal footing. So if the other character just lives however long, then, like, is it really all that much overpowered?
No, I mean, again, this game is still pretty far from release, so we shouldn't speculate too much on what's going to happen.
You know what's really important though for these Kickstarter games that have gimmicks is they need to release a trailer of that specific gimmick to show how it's gonna work. Because having it written, I mean, like, let's be real, like, half the people don't really care, right? If you're gonna have, like, you know, a 2-page essay of how it works, you know, like,
Nobody's going to read that shit.
I think, yeah, if your game is based on a gimmick, I think you really kind of need to show that gimmick off.
Yes, in
to
detail.
really sell your game. I think that's important.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's go to another topic, unless anyone else has something else to say here, because there's a big news on the good old Nostalrius, all right? Big news.
Uh-oh.
I'm glad we
Big
still didn't
news.
say it correctly.
Nostalrius.
Nostalrius. All right, let's go. Let's go to that then.
Yeah, that's exciting. Aaron, did you read about this earlier or no?
If we're the Blizzard's response.
Yes.
Okay, yes, I did, and I'll put up the highlighted paragraph, which I thought was relevant. And how stupid Blizzard. Okay, remember last time when we were talking about this? I said.
I know exactly what you're gonna highlight.
Okay, remember I said that the people running WoW now at Blizzard are like the D team or something.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Quote. We explored options for developing classic servers, and none can be executed without great difficulty. If we could push a button and all of this would be created, we would. However, there are tremendous operational challenges to integrating classic servers. Are they retarded? It was literally being done by volunteers rather than the best and brightest game engineers in the world in California. And
but here's the
these
thing.
cuckoos can't figure it out?
Here's the thing. When you emulate a server, you're just recreating the server as it was. What they're saying is it would be really difficult to integrate a literal vanilla level like WoW server into the current system.
But they don't have to. They can just have it on its own.
Yeah.
But they have to. That's
Why?
the expectation of their consumers, that it will be integrated with everything they already have.
That's not the expectation. I don't think it is.
No.
Why is that an expectation of consumers?
Why is that an expectation?
The only expectation is that they get to play.
Yeah,
Why
that's
don't
always
they-
It's the only fucking expectation that there is.
But like, okay,
But I get what
they
Matt's
did-
saying, though. I think that's their excuse, I think, you know? That is their excuse.
Okay, ready, Matt? If volunteers can do what they're doing now for zero, you would
But
think people
emulation
getting at
is-
least $150,000 a year, a team of them.
Emulation isn't
of
the
the best
same
and the
thing.
brightest.
You're not going to be able to just plug the old WoW client that Nostalrius was using into their server and have it work. It doesn't work like that.
Okay, Matt.
They may not even have the code for that
Matt,
specific client.
somebody in the comments left a very good response to that. Battle.net has a section for, quote, classic games. This includes StarCraft, Warcraft 3, Diablo 1 and 2.
Fits in the platform
But
just
what
fine.
benefit do they have to charge people a separate subscription for a classic WoW server?
It's
Money?
not a separate subscription. It comes with the regular one.
It'll just come with, you'll get both games for one
But if it's a
get both.
classic game, what incentive do they have to make it included with the same subscription?
People want it.
Bring people-
That's
you
the
bring-
incentive.
No. You bring people back.
But
that
your
are
entire
playing right now.
argument, your entire argument is people want it, so they should do it, which is the entire problem with the
No,
argument.
no, no. They should
No,
make money
it's
off
not.
it.
They should make money off it.
Already, the
If you're a
current.
shareholder,
Okay, but
Blizzard-
clearly they don't want the money, so can we just
No.
leave it then?
Because it's their hubris.
But
That's-
they didn't say they don't want the
causing
money. Here's what they said. It's a great operational challenge for us. We don't know how to do
Yeah.
it.
All
So
that
they-
is
Are you
unbelievably
saying,
correct
saying they don't care about the money? Because if they don't care about the money, then I mean, like, what's the deal then with like?
All right, I want to say something very,
Leaving
very,
someone
very
else to do
critical
it.
here. Listen,
Eugens, that is not even close to what I'm saying.
listen. The problem with this response is when I read this morning, it is unbelievably disingenuous. Okay, they're basically saying
they could be the D team.
no. Look,
Like I said,
they are.
they have 80 brain cells between them.
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I'll tell you why.
Omer,
Yes.
here's the problem. No company is going to come out and say we can't do it the way you want us to do it if they're not being genuine about it.
I'll tell you very obvious where it's disingenuous. This applies to anything that uses WoW's IP, including unofficial servers. And while we've looked at the possibility, there is not a clear legal path to protect Blizzard's IP and grant an operating license to a pirate server. That is what we call bullshit. Bullshit. They've already licensed World of Warcraft to China with multiple separate operators at different occasions, and they've done it just
But that's not a pirate server. That's
what's the
an official
difference at
server.
that point?
A pirate server can become an official server. Ready? The guys that made Nostalrius create Nostalrius 2 LLC, and they license from Blizzard. Done deal. It keeps going. They push a button, the server's on. Them saying this is basically saying, here's all this legal mumbo jumbo and why we can't do it, and they're hoping nobody looks into it. Complete bullshit.
I don't think they're
If they
disingenuous.
wanted, they can do it.
All right, look.
That's disingenuous. They're
All right.
saying there's no legal path to doing it. They're wrong. There is.
Dear viewers, I'm sure at the offices you work at, there's that one guy. He's not so bright, but he's been there a long time. He always brings you coffee, tea, or something. You know, he's a nice guy. That guy, those guys, are the only ones left working at on the WoW project right now. The guys that are intelligent, ambitious, want to get a name for themselves, they're on the new projects, whether it's Hearthstone or Overwatch. You have the dummies. You have like the 40-year-old guys who just won't retire. They put them in the WoW division.
40
All right.
years old retiring. You mean 65? Jesus.
Well, in this industry, it's 40.
In the
You're
tech
done.
world, 40 is
If by 40, you're not making your own game. You know, you're in maintenance mode, boy. That's who's left at the WoW team.
No,
I still don't think you guys get the legal implications of like
What's the legal
validating.
implication?
the
That's the
private
thing,
server.
though, but-
elaborate.
Go ahead.
It's just like, okay, if they validate this one, then other people are going to do it to bring another one
Whoa,
up,
whoa,
and then
whoa,
they have to
whoa,
protect
whoa,
their
whoa,
IP.
whoa.
No.
They don't have to give it to anybody else. But
But that's not going to stop other people from trying, and they have to protect their IP legally.
Matt, there are hundreds
Why?
of private servers today. Who cares? You can't stop it anyway.
You can't
Nothing
stop
is-
it. It's like you making drugs illegal. People are still gonna fucking smoke crack. I mean, I think that's a fine analogy, by the way.
I don't know,
But
it's just- they're-
I don't get why them protecting their IP is an honest offense.
because
for Blizzard.
it's the screwed up legal system in the U.S. They
Yeah,
actually
but
have to protect-
but I want to avoid. Look, the law isn't always just. So I'd rather.
no
not
one's saying
use-
it's just,
Matt,
but they do have
that's
to
what I'm
protect
getting-
it if they want to hold on to
No,
their
you're
copyright.
going too abstract. You're going too abstract.
Fine.
We have to accept their legal rights to WoW. I accept that, right? But they can legally license it to another company, and they can
But
license.
why? Why would they? What
Because-
incentive do they have?
Because they specifically said if we could flip a switch and do it, we would. And they said they've
But
looked
that's not
into-
flipping a switch. It's not their back end. It's not their server. It's not their people,
They
and
specifically
they're not
said-
charging for it.
Read their response. They specifically said that we've looked into licensing, but we can't because we got to protect our IP. So it means they want to do it, but they can't because of legal reasons, which is bullshit. They're wrong. They're not wrong. They're just lying. Simple as that. They're lying. If they want to do it, they could legally do it.
I don't know why you're dismissing the fact that they could just be idiots. Like,
Oh no, I'm not.
Okay,
100%
okay.
they can do it. No, 100%. They're lying on the fact that saying they can't do it either.
No.
They could flip a switch and do it.
I think they can't do it, but they could license it to someone who can do
No,
it.
I think they can 100% do it.
No, I don't think so.
Why they can't?
Because they don't know. The idiots are left there. Why don't you guys get this?
No, even if we accept what you're saying is fact, the D team at Blizzard
Yes.
is more than capable enough to run a classic WoW server.
They can't even run the current stuff.
Or ready to hire all Nostalrius team, the 20 members or whatever worked on Nostalrius. I still can never say it correctly. They hire all of them on a volunteer basis, maybe $10,000 a year, $20,000 a year, and they'll do it because they're a big fan of the game. Done deal. It'll cost nothing.
I think I'm done with
Almost
this
nothing.
argument.
Yeah, I think we're going. I think we all said our piece. Somebody should print this one paragraph though, and just like hang it on the wall at Blizzard. Blizzard, multi-billion-dollar company. We cannot host a private server that everyone else does for free. We are this great.
Yeah.
We're this competent.
That's why I say it's disingenuous. Either they're advertising their incompetence or they're disingenuous.
Yeah, it's either I say they're
saying they can't do
incompetent.
it.
I say they're incompetent. That's my vote.
It just
I'm
insulting
telling
to
you,
read
it's
that.
that I'm telling you that the reason is they want to incorporate it in with their current system, with the back end, with the website, with all that, and it's not that easy because they can't just turn on the features from vanilla and have it work in the current system. I'm telling you, that's why they haven't done it yet.
Matt, but even if that's what makes you think that's hard? They've already integrated literally StarCraft 1 into their backend.
What makes you think
fine.
it isn't hard, though?
They've done it with StarCraft 1, which is what,
But
1996?
it's not WoW. WoW is an MMO.
What
All
features
they had
does it
to
integrate?
replace. Okay, so they have direct IP to IP or direct IP connections with StarCraft and Diablo 2 and everything. All they have to do is replace the Battle.net part of it. They have to replace a lot more.
No,
to what
Battle.net
WoW
still
is
works.
actually
Battle.net's
was.
still up. It's like laggy and spammy as shit, but it's still up.
Yeah.
For those old games.
No, but all I'm saying is if they want to modernize it, all they have to do is replace that part, not everything else. I mean, you're replacing a lot more with an MMO because of how it's structured.
Brady, nobody cares for the backend. Literally nobody. Who wants to go on
But
Battle.net to
that's
see
why
their
they're
character?
not doing it. It
That's
doesn't
bullshit.
matter
That's
who
an excuse.
wants it.
That's an excuse. They don't want
Why
to do it.
wouldn't they do it, though? Why wouldn't they integrate it in that part? Because that's their system that they've spent all this time creating. It's
But
gotta
nobody
be part of
cares
that.
about that system. The players just want to play vanilla WoW. That's their excuse.
Okay.
I don't think you're looking at this from the right point of view.
If Jagex can do it with RuneScape, they have separate servers and systems for the classic and the regular.
By the way, Jagex was what, a $600 million, $700 million company when they got bought out? Let me
Yeah,
find out how
some
much
of
they got paid. They were $300 million, right? Jagex worth $300 million. Activision Blizzard's worth over $20 billion. It's such nonsense that they can't. A company that's worth $20 billion that runs the most
Jagex?
profitable, one of the most profitable
Jagex is kind of an anomaly, though. Like, name any other company that's done that.
Well, that's
EverQuest?
not fair.
Any company can do it. They just choose not to. For most people,
But
it's not a
name
big
any
deal.
other company that has done it.
EverQuest.
Jagex is the exception, not the rule.
EverQuest has done it.
EverQuest is not the same. EverQuest is like the pristine realms that they're offering the option of, because people have even said that in comments. It's not the same. It is not vanilla EverQuest. It is modern EverQuest made to look like vanilla EverQuest, which is what they are suggesting with the pristine realm.
But the point is, I think any company could do it if they wanted to. But there's no outcry and demand for classic servers in a lot of games, the way there is for WoW. Which is why
Well, I don't think
No one
that's
does it.
fair. Just because they're asking more doesn't mean that they should be the exception. You know what I mean?
what do you mean the exception? They just choose not to do it because either A, they're incompetent, B, they just don't want to refuse to do it because
Okay, one last point. If you guys know anyone who runs a private WoW server, like an emulated server, even if just for you and his friends, like a private one, that guy alone is smarter than entire World of Warcraft Blizzard official development team. Because he can run his own private vanilla server, but Blizzard can't. And they admitted it. They said, it's too hard for us. We don't know how to do it.
Please play this video one last time so we can move something else. Because this, I think, captures the hubris. Because Matt was saying, why wouldn't they want to do
So
it?
if-
This
if-
is exactly why
If you
they
guys
don't
ever
want to do it.
ran a private Ragnarok server, Ultima Online server, your own RuneScape server, you are smarter than the entire team at
Come
Blizzard.
on. That's stretching it.
I don't think so. I think it
And
makes
by
sense.
the way, you don't want to.
No, that's
to do
stretching
that.
it because you don't have to do
think you
anything
do,
to do
but
that
you don't.
half the
I
time.
still don't think you guys understand how different emulation and running the actual thing are.
It's no different.
Zero difference.
It's only different if you're retarded.
Yeah, exactly. You know why? On the back end, who gives a shit? On the front end is all that matters, and the player experience is all that matters. Ready? As long as people are playing on the private server and they're enjoying it, their player experience is good. That's all that matters. Nobody cares about the back end. Just use the WoW emulator. Who cares? Done deal.
Yeah, just use
Alright, I'm done. We've been through that just use the WoW emulator thing before and it went nowhere, so I'm done. That's it.
But and what the video for you think you do but you don't captures the Blizzard's hubris on this issue.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean,
This is this is a key thing. The developers don't want people playing vanilla WoW because it makes them feel like all their efforts was useless.
Well, I mean, on this topic, like, I feel like they. God,
And
what was I gonna say? I was gonna say that I feel like Matt does have a point that it will take them some time They
No.
shouldn't just straight up use what Nostalrius is using.
And-
But
and by the
the
way,
thing is
you
that
don't
I
want
disagree
them to do that
that's not
either.
time
You think
worth
you
it
do,
because
but you
right
don't.
now you're building up so much negativity within your community.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you can become like the hero of your community easily by devoting some time and resource. I mean, we're talking about Blizzard here. Like, they clearly have money to do this kind of endeavor, and I don't understand like why they're not, or maybe they're not announcing it. I don't know. Like, it seems like a lost opportunity to really win back your community. Especially a lot of people that have left already, right? I mean, if we see the numbers, like, World of Warcraft is hemorrhaging players, right? They could just get more by doing this.
I think it'd be a profitable endeavor, but again, we can't speculate. To
I
how
think
much money
World
they'll
of
make or not.
Warcraft is hemorrhaging players for a lot more reasons than just the fact that they don't
Oh, of course. Yes, you're right. There's a lot more going on. The
Because-
game-
And I think it's unfair to base that entirely on this.
But I would argue that adding that would help. I'm not saying it's going to solve all their problems. I think it would be a boost to their bottom line and top line, actually.
Also,
Both
all
lines.
right, to
All the lines.
stop going in
But I
circles.
think the problem is they don't know that. That's another thing. They are a big business. They have risk analysis.
Okay,
analysts,
ready?
and
If they open a page saying, "Do you pledge to subscribe 1 year in advance?" If we open a private WoW
Okay,
server,
that's like
they-
saying that everybody that
So
tweets
you want
something
to-
for
I
a
would-
thunderclap is going to put money into a Kickstarter. That's not fair.
No, but WoW classic WoW players are older. People that played classic WoW with 2004.
That's also unfair because you
Why?
don't know that.
It's
Because
a
you don't
fair
know that all
it's a
these-
fair statement.
It is a fair statement because people that played
Not all of
classic
them,
WoW,
but a lot of them.
not all of them. Yeah,
The average.
most of them. The average, classic WoW player is older than the guy who played this panda nonsense. All right, fact.
Panda
This panda nonsense. If they accepted pre-orders for subscriptions, if they reach like a milestone, they'll open it. Oh my God, they make so much money. And ready, zero risk. Blizzard, do it. Accept pre-orders for classic WoW, and after a certain milestone, you open the server. That way, you take zero risk. I guarantee they'll have hundreds of thousands of people paying, ready to go. That
All right,
wouldn't-
new
that they didn't
topic.
pay
New
before.
topic. New topic.
All right, fine,
You're
new
just
topic.
restating the same things
Fine, fine.
over and over.
I want to say quickly, what do you guys think of Blizzard's response itself, rather than like stop going in circles about Nostalrius or whatever? I
think they did a lot better than most companies in their stature would, based on the fact that they said they couldn't do it, which is super risky for a lot of reasons. And I think you're understating how risky saying we can't do this is for them.
I mean, at least they said something. One, but I don't think they should have said this part. It's too hard. They should have said we'd rather work on pristine servers or new projects or something.
Okay,
Yeah.
but what was the first thing you said when they said it's too hard? You said they're incompetent. So
Well,
Yeah.
that's like.
it's true.
That-
That's the only. That's
But that is why it's risky for them to say it, which is why I feel they're being genuine about it.
well,
They wouldn't
exactly.
say
That's
that.
why I disagree with my brother in saying they're looking for an excuse.
I think it's disingenuous.
I think
they're
it's
very
genuous.
capable people. I have more respect for them than my brother does, and I think most of you guys do. I think they're very capable people.
Why do you assume that? Like, I don't understand.
Because you have to realize this is not a dying. This is not like this game makes like $700 million a year. Still, it's still people that played classic WoW are graduating college now and within the last like 5 years, and they're striving to work at Blizzard because of their experiences with WoW. There are a lot of thirsty people joining Blizzard just to work on WoW.
I think you're mistaking
Thirsty people.
I think you're mistaking the effects of like a sinking ship. So WoW is a big ship, right? And it's sinking slowly. But since it's sinking, you have the best and brightest would rather be on a rising ship, like a rising star, even if it starts small, because they want to go with it up. So when something's going down, it attracts. Well, I should say only like the dummies stay on the ship, just for like
But
the
new
pay.
people are still joining. Anyway, that's that.
Yeah. All right.
I still don't buy the argument that they're dumb. But Gumby and Shu, thoughts on their
I
statement?
just want to say that I actually think I'm more inclined to agree with Omer just based on something I just realized, but I don't want to go circular. But just the fact that they said they had to protect their IP.
Mhm.
Just my final thought is, if they really wanted to protect their IP, they should be pursuing the countless numbers of private World of Warcraft servers. To me, that's just a cop-out reason to shut down the one that reached critical mass. Whatever the next server is that reaches that critical mass again, if it does, they'll just shut that one down. Whereas there will be hundreds or countless, I don't even know how many there actually are,
Countless.
private WoW servers still also running their own vanilla version of WoW, whatever patch it may be. And I think that I think it's good that they finally made a response, but I think it came a little bit too late. This response should have come much sooner, and I think that so much negativity seeped into the general conscience about this that it just kind of makes them look like idiots. Like this post should have come out right after the controversy. It's just it feels disingenuous.
All right, sure. What do you think?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Gumbel on that. That they kind of let it brew
Whoa,
a little
whoa.
bit. They let.
Agreeing
What?
with Gumble means you're agreeing with me. I want the full credit for the agreement.
Okay.
Gumbel
I'm
is
agreeing
me.
with Gumbel, and therefore I am agreeing with.
I'm not
Red
agreeing with
Herring.
Omar totally.
Only on the same topic that Gummy was talking
Alright.
about, because they're kind of letting everyone brew in their like anger and their you know the man is putting us down type of a mentality. They let everyone brew in that for too long. This just came out today, right? Good lord,
Yeah.
10 hours ago. Yeah.
All right. New
Waited
topic.
too
New topic.
long.
New topic. New topic.
We talk about a company I left real quick, or are you about to take us somewhere else?
I'm not taking us else. I'm taking us to other failures at Blizzard. All right.
All right,
So
go
the
ahead.
Titan
Keep it
MMO was
Oh,
Titan
wow.
MMO was utter failure according to Jeff Kaplan at Blizzard, and so basically Titan was supposed to be the next big MMORPG project from Blizzard. They spent I don't know what number was, like 20, 50 million, and then it got scrapped. And that same team, I didn't know this until I read this, but that same team went on to develop Overwatch as kind of their redemption game. So there you have it, guys. Overwatch is the remnants of Titan.
They spent over 50 million, by the way.
Yeah.
Over 50 million, which actually makes it one of the highest, one of the most expensive video games of all time that never even came out. Pretty
I like this
interesting.
quote he said, "You're only as good as your last game. My most recent game was an utter failure called Titan that got canceled." Ouch, man. He put himself down there. That hurts.
I can respect that.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
honesty like
yeah,
that.
no, he's honest. Yeah, sure. But you know what? I think I think this. I'm looking at a Eurogamer article real quick, and it comes down to this. Reminds me of our first topic about Kickstarters. It says ideas and ambition and the scope of what they were trying to do just spiraled out of control. And I think that happens a lot when you have this grand vision. And I think that's what Titan was. They were trying to surpass WoW in every way, and then they didn't realize that it probably became too big and complex. So
I wish
Seems to be a lot
unfortunate.
of seems to be a lot of the problem with games is that Kickstarter too, right? It happens with Kickstarter a lot, where they have this goal, this small goal, and everyone's like, yeah, sign me up for that goal, and then they're like, oh, now that we have this money, let's make it even better, and it just inflates and then just collapses,
Star Citizen.
The bubble.
Was there any gameplay footage or any trailers for Titan, or was it always just an unannounced project?
Unannounced project.
I'm really curious what it looked like. 'Cause they had people working on it for a long time. That means they've gotten somewhere with the game before they shut it down. There was clearly an engine. There was some gameplay. They just said they couldn't find the fun of it. They couldn't find the passion in the game. But I'm really curious what they came up with. But
Yeah.
we'll never know because it's hidden in the archives forever. Shoot, break
check
Blizzard
out
for us.
WildStar. Check out WildStar.
That's
You can
a
get it
completely
now.
different game, though. We need to break into
I'm just
Blizzard,
kidding.
guys, and steal their Titan assets and put it in the MMO museum, all right?
What are
Like
the
a-
odds?
like a
What are the
Mission
odds that the
Impossible
graphics
mission?
were from Overwatch style?
Probably.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That they probably just.
It's
kept
probably
this
some kind of
thematic.
shooter. Yeah, some kind of shooter MMO. And then it just became Overwatch, like the assets.
Oh, that's interesting. They could just pivot it to that, yeah.
That would
And-
be the smart thing to do. Completely waste all that time.
Yeah. But who knows? That's speculation on my part.
Yeah.
All right, now you can
Hey,
take it where you want.
Overwatch beta is coming soon, by the way, too, so you can look forward to that.
So
Wouldn't
just
it-
to go ahead, Shu. We're on
I was
topic.
gonna say Overwatch is coming out in
end
two
of May.
2 weeks. The beta, right?
The
Is it
open
like
beta is
2
in-
weeks?
the open
Or
beta
1
is
week?
starting on May 3rd.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I'm excited for that because I finally get to fucking play the game that I bought.
Yeah, it's. I think Blizzard's gonna make a lot of money with it. Anyway, Gubby, feel free to take it.
So this is in a totally new direction, and only because I love it and I'm bringing it up. My favorite company right now, and it's really just for Psyonix recently updated Rocket League, and they did it a day early. And talk about getting on my good side when you release an update a day early. And Rocket League just added basketball mode, and Omer and I had a chance to play it last night. And I just want to say that Rocket League, I think if I could redo our top games of the year, I would probably make Rocket League the best game of 2015. I feel like nothing has been so fun and novel, and it's the game I keep coming back to. I don't know if anyone in chat keeps playing it. Maybe it's just me. But I just love the fact... Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was gonna say, you brought up a good point. Like, why don't people do that more? Like, overshoot their estimate and then come out a day early. Like, it gives you so much cred for free. You literally don't have to do anything, you know? Like,
I was so pumped when I found out because
why don't people do that?
They've been expanding their game by adding other sports. They had hockey in the winter, and now they just added basketball. And I was skeptical about it, but I had a ton of fun playing it last night. It's not easy. I thought it would be much easier. But just Rocket League, I mean, this is something that's it's novel, it's routinely fun, it's quick, and I feel like it's just like the perfect combination of different elements. And the thing about Rocket League too is nobody has any idea what they're doing. Everybody sucks, right?
Yeah.
Everybody I play with sucks. Most people suck. But the skill cap is insanely high, and because no one's really good, at least, and even the friends I play with that are good, since it's just like such a silly game, nobody takes it seriously enough that it becomes like Dota 2 or League. It's just constant fun. It doesn't have that competitive edge that it always kind of bums me out when I play a traditional MOBA.
I don't think you really get flamed in Rocket League.
No. People
You're right there.
It's like casual.
It's casual, but very high skill cap, and it is really an incredible game. They managed to capture like
That's
I don't know
interesting.
how they made it, but it's such a simple concept. It's so incredibly fun, though. It all came together nicely. I don't know if they designed or intended it to be that like perfect, but it really came together well.
Rocket League is the kind of game where every time a shot is set up perfectly, I'm going up and it looks like I'm going to hit it, and I go right under it.
Oh, that happens all the time.
All the time for me too, because I suck.
But when you
haven't
do
played in a
connect,
while.
when you connect in Rocket League 2, it's such a high. You're just like, oh my god, what a goal! And you can shout. It's the only time I shout into the mic. I'm just like, my neighbors hear me and they wonder what the hell's going on.
All right, so what sport will they add next? Okay, so they have regular
We
soccer.
were talking about this earlier, actually, while we were playing.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so
Baseball.
what game?
I don't know how they would do baseball. That might be tough.
No, I don't think so.
Curling, guys. It's gonna be curling.
Curling could work.
Curling. I think volleyball.
Ooh.
Volleyball would be great.
But that requires
gonna be
way too many
so-
aerials.
So hard. How about
But no, you
tennis?
wouldn't-
Tennis. When do you want tennis?
No, golf. Like small balls.
Golf.
Golf is good. Golf is good.
Oh, that is a good one. Oh,
Lacrosse.
like mini golf, you know.
Yeah, mini golf. They have like windmills and stuff.
Mini golf could work. That'd be pretty funny. It's funny. You could just take these small cars and probably transplant them into anything, and it's gonna work. Like they're just toy cars with these giant sports balls.
Football. It's so easy. It's exactly the same as classic Rocket League, but instead of shooting a goal that's like on the ground, it's the... Well, no, it would have to be that'd be field goals only.
No, that's bad.
Never mind. JK. Retract.
That's what Daddy says.
I think mini golf is where it's at.
Yeah, mini golf.
Mini golf is going to happen. Definitely.
And by the way, the update was free. You don't gotta buy anything. They just give you the new game for free. The only thing they added that you could buy is a DLC with little cosmetic flags.
Honestly,
And,
Psyonix is way too good for us. Right? We don't deserve a company like Psyonix to give us all these free updates.
Well, I paid
They're too good.
I paid $20 for that game. I expect free updates for a while. Come on.
No, but come on, no. They're too, because I thought about it, because I bought this fighting game, Melty Blood, and played with the shoe. I paid $20 for it too, right? But I'm trying to think, Rocket League gives you so much more value. And Melty Blood was like a really old arcade game that was re-released on Steam. Like, I'm talking like, sure, how old is that game? Do you know?
How was that? I saw you all playing that last
Really
night.
old. Let me look it up.
How was that
It's
game?
really fun, actually.
Actress Again isn't that old. Actress Again isn't. The
Yeah,
the
it
original
is, but Melty Blood is old.
Melty Blood's like 2000, I think.
Anyway, I paid $20 for a game.
2005.
2000. No,
Oh,
2002.
no,
The very
2002.
first-
2002,
Okay,
yeah.
so I paid $20 for that game, but like, Rocket League gives you so much value for $20, and honestly, they were able to do it really well because of Critical Mass. They sold so many copies, but I would have no problem with them like I don't know. They're too good for us. I got too much value out of them. I feel like I'm robbing them somehow. It's too good.
I want to point out too that DLCs are very affordable. It's like $2, and two of them are $2 and one's $4. Oh no, there's more than that, but none of them are too expensive. They don't go over $5, and it's all.
They're cosmetics only,
That's the
right?
soundtrack. Yeah, it's all cosmetics, new cars and stuff. I actually bought the first one that came out, and I'm more inclined to support them just because of.
Because they're so generous.
And what's cool is I think that's also because Rocket League was never expected to do well, right? Rocket League, we've mentioned this before. Rocket League is a kind of a rags to riches success, and because there was a game that came out before Rocket League called like Supersonic Acrobatic.
What a great name.
Powered fueled cars, and I think it was the name that hurt them. Now that they simplified it, it's just everyone. It's easy. It translates easier. People can transmit it, learn about it. But we all bought Misty Blood recently.
Melty Blood.
If you guys
Melty
Blood, I'm gonna keep calling it Misty Blood because that's what I want.
That's melty bread. Melty bread.
Melty bread.
It was really fun.
That's how you call it in Japanese. Melty bread.
Guys,
You guys want to play after
perhaps.
podcast?
We have area games announced to bringing Bless to the West. Bless to the West. How do you like that, guys?
I like that.
I feel like we said this
The
every
Blessed-
week for the past 3 weeks. Blessed
Really?
to the West, yes. At least I did.
Really?
Well,
I don't know if you guys
that's
listened
the
to
first
me.
time I've heard it.
Wow, you guys don't
We
listen
talked
to
about
me.
this. We talked about this
We might
last
not
week,
listen.
didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
I'm
Was
pretty
it?
sure
Yeah,
we
I'm
Pretty
did.
sure we talked about this last week.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, because it was announced literally on the 19th. Whoops. Is anybody excited? Is anybody to play it?
Not really.
I'm not
I'm
really
sure-
excited at all.
It
I
looks
mean,
cool.
I'll
I like
play it.
I'll try it.
From what I understand, actually, I don't understand anything, so I'm not going to say anything. So never mind. Pass.
Okay, so since we're talking about it, the quote I like, they held an AMA about it, and the one guy said that basically pay to win is great for money, but free to play games without pay to win are great for player retention, and he'd like to focus on retention, and he's the
Good.
senior product lead, and I'm just like,
I like it.
I like it. That's actually really interesting because if you look at the companies that do the best today, these tech growth companies, like Twitter's a pretty bad example now, but a lot of tech startups don't focus on making money right away. They focus on growth, and a lot of the Silicon Valley startups that are just all about that growth, including companies like YouTube, which weren't even making money until relatively recently in terms of their lifespan. Even Facebook wasn't making money until like 4 years ago. All right. So these companies that focus on growth do really well. So I think companies are going to realize that you can't milk the players. You focus on retention, and that creates such a big player base that it allows you to be more modest with your monetization, and it creates a better experience and a better game for everybody, a more profitable game. So I
well,
think-
for games like Bless, at
people
least.
respect you more. You know, people will respect you
Yes.
more too. And then, you know, once you have people grumbling about pay to win, then it's like a big stab in your side, and all that blood's gonna come out. You know.
Mhm.
I don't know, man. Arcade just sold a lot of $100 hot tubs.
So what do those $100 hot tubs do anyway? I've heard about them.
They remove the sleeping sickness, so you can sleep twice a day, which means that you get like twice as much labor points. I can't remember what they call them. I think labor points.
Pretty funny
Oh.
though. They are labor points, yeah.
Yeah, that's how it's pay to win. Because
So is Arcade like just blatant? Because like I've installed it, but I've never played. Is it just blatantly play to win? It's like they don't give a
Arcade
fuck
is
anymore?
either
It's
pay to
not
win
blatant.
or it's either pay to win or play 48 hours a day grinding your ass off to win.
Oh.
You can't say it's
Seems
blatant
fair.
pay to win because the Chinese games are blatant pay to win. There's still like there's a whole different world between Chinese pay to win and Western pay to win. All right, there's a big
Okay, well, I'm talking
difference.
about Western, right?
Okay,
Western.
okay.
Is
It's
it
a good
blatant Western? Is it a blatant Western pay
Well,
to win?
the thing is, okay, so in Arcade, you can basically buy your way through everything, right? So, like, the way I understand it, they have, like, like the WoW tokens, you know, and you can sell them on the market, and then you get in-game cash, and then you use the in-game cash to skip, like, everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
And with your cash, you can get a lot further than somebody can conceivably get by grinding over like even a year or two.
I see.
Mm.
This actually reminds me of the comment somebody left on Gumble's video on Pay to Win. Did you guys read?
What?
Did you guys read that comment like last week?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Oh, Legal Angels 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, he basically said that he doesn't give
I
a
want to
shit.
read it.
We
I wanna
should
read
go
it.
screw ourselves because he loves Pay to Win. He
Yeah.
says he said he's from the projects and that if he wants to pay as much money as he wants in a game, then that's his right. And when he spends money in a game, he wants to be better than everyone else. And then he told me to get a job and that YouTube pays my bills, and I should. And I'm a fucking loser, basically.
Yeah,
I was like,
He was
oh,
wrong
no!
on most of those topics, but not the last one.
Oh.
So it's all
Not
right.
the last one. I'm like, oh man, what an epiphany! So I thanked him, and I'm looking for new opportunities.
But
Like,
maybe you
it's
can sling drugs with him in the projects. All right.
maybe. But I'm down with that. Good, hey man, man's got to eat.
Man's got a League of Angels.
Man's got a League of Angels. Yeah, so he really liked League of Angels. So God bless him. I don't know.
He says, "I'm so glad
Okay,
someone's
no.
making a game for people that have actually done well in life. All
Oh,
the
yeah.
people who bitch about these games are mad because they are poor. Do better
Okay.
in life. Maybe you'll get to enjoy your game more."
You guys think this is hilarious, but see, the thing is, when I played BDO's closed beta, I saw in chat, why is this game so complicated? I just want to hack and slash and pay to win.
He's obviously kidding. He's obviously kidding. All right, that's pretty funny though. I just want to hack and slash and pay to win.
Seems fair.
I mean, this one guy that commented, he just shows you that, I'm sure he's not the only one who thinks like that. Rarely does one person think a certain way. There are definitely other people who feel just like him, and so that's... Once I saw that, I didn't believe him at first, thought he was trolling. That's why we asked for an interview, and he didn't really give us one. But, I mean, they exist. That's how these games do well. People want to blow their money.
I have no
the game,
doubt.
I guess.
I have no doubt he's being sincere because that same mentality is very visible in MOBAs. There are people who pay hundreds of dollars to get boosted on their ranked accounts. So
Oh, yeah. That's true.
so they get to, like, let's say, I know the Dota terms. Like, let's say they get to 5K MMR, right? But the problem is, as soon as they start playing, they think they're just so good.
That's a diamond. That's a diamond.
Yeah, so
Okay,
diamond.
so
They think they're so good, and they're being kept down by their teammates, right? So they'll pay to get to the top, but as soon as they start playing, they just start falling again.
okay, so here's the thing though. Like,
Oh my
I don't know if this is true, so don't take it with a grain of salt. But like, when you look at real life, people look at like your money as a amount of status. Like, your status is dependent on your money and your car and your house and everything. That's in your job, and that's how people determine like how high up in society you are or whatever. So, wouldn't paying a ton of money, like disposable income, to beat the shit out of somebody else in video game be like the ultimate test of status?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a way,
so much
yes.
disposable wealth that you're literally wasting it on a digital, to be a digital e-billy.
But use that logic. Won't
it's
heating
just
your
like-
home with burning $100 bills be the same?
But no one
Same
sees that.
thing if you burn-
Nobody sees that.
I would rather be an alcoholic
Record
than drink it all. I don't know why he wants to buy digital goods, and of all games, League of Angels too.
But like, who are you showing off to when you play League of Angels 2? Who
South
plays League of Angels 2?
America?
Like
I don't
other, I don't know. If you're showing off like a more respectable game, maybe. But I feel like people who spend money like, and they're showing off their status. I don't think anybody thinks, "Wow, that guy is so cool."
No, but I
like,
think they do. I mean, think about it. There is a League of Angels 2. There was a first one.
Okay,
It did
the
so
game
well.
makes
They
money,
made a
I know.
second.
But like, if you see somebody that's really, really strong and they spend a lot of money, what do you think?
Yeah.
You don't think they're really cool. Like that loser spent a lot of money. That's your mentality,
I-
right?
No.
I start going to Seeking Alpha. I start investing in stocks. I start making mad dough, and I come back and I kick his ass by taking all my Twitter stock and buying League of Angels 2.
Guys, I'm gonna be the best at Ebony, okay? Because I deserve an orgy today. Right now.
That was War Tune, right? Come on, get it right.
Oh,
Joe.
the war tune? Alright.
War Tune.
No, it's real.
But I want to read his comment, with his full comment. He left it like this was a back and forth. He says, "Your channel is shit. Don't get mad at me because you can't afford to play the game. Just because you don't see what other people see, it doesn't make people stupid. We do it because we can. That's it. I grew up poor in a housing project. The fact that I can spend $100 in the game is a success to me, not a failure. You're free to not see the appeal. However, you don't get to decide what others see in value. I had arguments like this before. I get pissed off when people try to dictate value. Stop worrying about my wallet. It's fat and it's healthy. Fucking peasant. Your job is YouTube. You're a failure."
I want to point out too. He said I was sarcastic the whole time. I was only sarcastic in the first sentence. I meant everything else. Honestly, it's not all sarcasm, and I don't know. I mean, he's passionate. I mean, he's got passion. If only he could channel that into something worthwhile. But you know, oh well.
It's just amazing that it comes from League of Angels. Come on, there's so much better things you could be doing.
Buy lottery tickets.
Yeah.
You wanna blow your money. Buy lottery tickets. All right.
Go to Vegas. Go to Vegas.
Yeah, blow your money in fashion in Vegas with hookers, beer, gambling.
Whoa.
Get the full experience. Yeah.
You get those free CDs that aren't really free on the corner. Can we get a donation, man? Fuck it, Anyway, I guess I'm not gonna play League of Angels 2 anytime soon because I'm just too much of a filthy peasant.
You're too much of a
And
peasant.
I really was hoping to make a career out of League of Angels 2.
But the problem with the game is there's no challenge. If you spend money, you can overcome any challenge in the game.
Well, that's what he's
isn't-
used to in real life,
isn't-
I guess.
Okay, isn't League of Angels 2 kind of unprecedented though? Like, don't most games in like the Chinese browser market just get cloned rather than having a sequel?
Oh,
Yeah.
well, but this company that made League of Angels 2, though, I mean, they clone their own games, but I guess they change it enough that it's not like an obvious clone. I think this is the same company that did Eternal Dream, right? And Tiny Mighty.
League of Angels 2 looks like a clone
Oh,
of
no,
League
no.
of Angels 1.
Yeah, it's definitely
Same
a clone of the first one. No, this is GT Arcade, so they're a bit different. I mean, largely, yeah, they are just cloning.
Because like I watched that presentation that you guys linked the one time, and basically like the one game got cloned, and the guy that designed it was like super happy about it because it's like, hey, somebody wanted to clone my game.
Then he copied what the few features the other guy added, and he copied it to his version. So it's a lovely little symbiotic relationship.
This is
So,
what
like-
happens when you have very lax copyright. You get lots of innovation and
There you go.
spending money. So I think
like-
they're really paving the way to the future.
My point is, isn't that what happens rather than sequels most of the time? So the fact that League of Angels got a sequel is actually pretty surprising in and of itself.
Well, to be
Yeah.
honest, with a lot of Chinese games, sequels are actually just big expansions. So you'll
Yeah.
see a lot of like it happened with Tales of Pirates and a lot of other games. They just add a 2 to the end, even though it's not a sequel at all. It's just a patch or like the same game. But, you know,
That's true. With Tale of Pirates 2, it was just Tale of Pirates 1 with updates.
and
How
speaking,
high do they go on those?
I'm pretty sure Perfect World 2. I think in China it's called Perfect World 2, but I'm pretty sure it's the same game.
Legend of Mirror 3 was basically the same as Legend of Mirror 2, but I have no idea what Legend of Mirror 1 was. So I don't know if anyone plays those games.
The old one, though. But if you play League of Angels 2 and you look at it, the Sean's gameplay video, it looks like League of Angels.
Yeah,
It looks
yeah.
like the same exact game with just slightly better visuals. They
Yeah.
tweaked the 3D.
Usually a graphic engine update is considered enough to put the next number on it in China.
But was thinking like this too, because it resets the whole thing in the second one, right? And everyone who spent money in the first game has to spend money again in the second one to keep up. So it keeps the money train going.
All right, well,
These games are amazing. How much money they make.
And just to say, I played League of Angels up until like level 36, I think.
That's it. I got like
The
a
second
level
one?
80.
The second one. And it has more micromanagement than most RTSs do. Like, there are so
Really?
many fucking things you have to upgrade. It
Yes,
is not
yes.
even funny.
Oh yeah, but it
Yeah.
does
Oh my
tell you what
God.
to do.
'Cause it makes it feel more complicated than it actually is. Because what you're really doing is like the same thing, but there's so many ways to like put your points, progress your stuff.
all right,
I'm just sitting there like, I hit level 30 and it gave me a new thing to upgrade after I already had like 8 things I had to check, and I'm sitting there like, oh my god, what?
all right, enough about that game. I want to bring up some nice stats and charts because I love stats and
All
charts.
right, I like stats.
So this will be the first year, and a lot of people were surprised it's the first year for this. Mobile gaming will just pass PC gaming in revenue.
I gotta
Oh
say, I'm
my
surprised.
God.
I thought it had already happened.
Yep, that's one for
So-
already happened. And what you guys? Did any of you else think that, or did you guys? No.
I did. I thought PC games would be ahead still.
Oh, really? So okay, so different opinions.
Because the monetization on PC games is like you have subscriptions, free to play. Because free to play on PC makes so much money. Games
Yeah.
like Dota 2, League of Legends. League makes $1.6 billion a year.
Mhm.
But then again, you have games like Clash of Clans, which also make like
Keep in mind that the
1.5
mobile has
billion a
a
year.
much bigger demographic than a game like League or
yeah.
anything else that's free to play.
And if you follow these guys' projections, they're saying by 2019, mobile will be 34% of the total gaming market, while PC will be at 25%, which represents a 2% shrink from today.
So it looks like we're on permanent decline now.
Well, again,
to-
as a percentage, the numbers still get bigger.
Yeah, oh, I got you. The raw number could still be going up.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Actually, I think we might see a boost to PC in the future.
Really?
PC's
not-
coming back?
I think that I think eventually. Well, it's kind of a workaround. 'Cause I think the consoles. I don't think consoles can last. I don't think the way consoles are now can last in the future markets because the tech changes too quickly. And they're just that's why there's a new PS4 coming out already.
Mhm.
Consoles are on
4.2.
shaky.
4.5.
Consoles are on shaky ground, anyways, because people were talking a lot about iterative consoles, and iterative consoles, as you know, are just computers that you can do less with.
Yes.
So, and I don't think anyone's going to want to pay like every year to get a new version of this console like they do their iPhones. I mean, you use your new iPhone for a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
You use your new PS4
for very
for
specific
a few
tasks.
more games and
Mhm.
the exact same things that the other PS4 was doing. You know, it's just like I don't think consoles as they exist now are going to last if this keeps up. But I do think that there is a chance we may see, like, you know how SteamOS is supposed to be like a computer, but you only use Steam, basically? I think we're going to see more of that from, like, PlayStations and Xbox, because I don't think that Microsoft even is going to give up the whole console game too easily. And, of course, things like the 3DS are still going to be relevant because they're handheld game consoles, which is different. You know, it's not like a phone. Like,
Really?
people don't like playing on phones as much. I've noticed there are a lot of people that are clinging to their handhelds because they're traditional setups in terms of controllers. So I think they're going to last a lot longer than other consoles are.
I believe that exact opposite. I think the handheld is in far more danger than the traditional
Yes.
console. I've been calling for the death of consoles for 10 years now, and
Me too.
I'm happy to admit that once in a while, once in a decade, I'm wrong, and this is that case. So
It's reached a point where I admit that I've been wrong so long that I'm ready to double down the opposite. Consoles are here to stay because I've been calling for the death of consoles just like my brother forever. We've done it together, but now I realize how wrong I am. That I'm going to switch directions. I'm going to say consoles are going to be here for. They serve a very interesting purpose. It's very simple because if you competition for those hardcore games or PC, because a lot of console gamers they'll play mobile games, but they're not really in direct competition because that hardcore. PC is not a good platform. I love PC games, but all my friends, I visit their houses, they check out their computers. They got spyware up the ass. They got 7 toolbars. They got virus alerts. Like, their computer's unbearably slow. That's why PC
People
gaming.
don't want to worry about it.
Yes, exactly.
People don't want to worry about updating their computers. Like, you know, like, oh, how long is my computer going to last? Do I have to install all this shit, you know? Consoles do all that
Drivers.
for you, really.
Yes, it's a dumb
Yeah, you
version,
don't have
but
to
it's
do
good.
anything.
I actually
But the reason that I think that consoles are on the way out is not because of consoles versus PC. It's because they're making consoles iterative slowly.
okay, but how how long has PS4 been out? It's been a while. Like,
Yeah,
What
but
do you
that's for
mean?
now. I mean, it was unheard of before to have a new 3DS or a PS4.5. The fact that they're doing it at all is kind of
okay,
why I feel like...
somewhat fair, but I do recall in the earlier console era, add-ons were not uncommon. They were not successful.
Yeah, but add-ons are like $50 to $100. You're paying the full price for the console over again for the PS4.5 for 4K support and the ability to play a few more games that are going to require slightly more power than the PS4 does, just like the new 3DS.
Well, don't forget that the Sony is saying anything that works for the 4.5 has to also work for the 4. So they kind
they're
of
saying that now, though.
true.
That's
true.
the thing.
Oh.
Until a big game comes along, wants to use the power, and doesn't want to create a lower res version, like, you know, Black Ops 3 on Xbox 360, which looks like total crap.
Well, there's no rule that says a console generation must be 10 years. So we're already like, at least I say we're about halfway into that with the PS4, right? So it's not
PS4, let me look that up.
because the gap between consoles was not always 10 years. Sometimes it was significantly less.
3 years. We are coming up on 3 years this November. 3.
Okay, so it is early, I admit, but I think we've had 4 or 5 year console generations, if I'm not mistaken. in the past. So it's not like it's a difference. It's a measurable difference, not a difference in like scale or.
Okay, but the thing is, like, most people won't upgrade their computer in 3 years. You know, with a new $600 graphics card.
True.
To have them pay another $400 to $500 for a console in 3 years is unheard of at this point.
I mean, we have to wait and see how this plays out. Again, we'll see. We'll see how the whole PS4 thing plays out.
I do wanna bring up this one fun fact about the PS4 that I thought was really interesting. It was in Super Data recently released a report about, and they found that the PlayStation VR sold double the number of headsets compared to the Rift and Vive combined.
Oh, wow.
I am not surprised at all.
So PSVR right now, and it does make sense, right? Because it's a far cheaper entry fee to get in on that. But
And it's
just
a
shows
more
that
cheaper.
platform.
It's
Yeah.
cheaper, and your platform is already set up for it. You do not have
Yep.
to buy anything else. You don't have to upgrade your computer. I am not surprised at all.
yeah, so they sold
Yeah.
2.6 million headsets compared to
Wow.
the Rift that only sold 0.7 million and the Vive at 0.4. So I don't think that was. I'm not sure if that was expected or not because it was the PSVR at a $399 price tag. So I think what happened was a lot of people who bought PS4s, a year or so ago, they don't feel a sting of buying the console, so they're willing to dish out another $400 for the VR. So I thought that was pretty interesting, and I did not see that coming, personally, but I should have.
Yeah, considering they had the platform, I think it's going to be the platform for hardcore VR. You always know, I think Samsung Gear VR and any mobile adaptation for VR is going to do really well because of the sheer number of mobile phones out there. But for the hardcore audience, I think the PSVRs and PlayStation VR is going to do better than both Oculus and Vive, only because the platform is already so ubiquitous.
Me personally, though, for the PSVR, I am considering it over Oculus and Vive, but I want to see what the launch titles are going to be like yet.
Mhm.
Yeah, because right now the launch titles aren't too great for VR. A lot of them are, as you linked before, pure gimmick.
Oh
Which
yeah.
that's to be expected, right? It's gotta get its way through adolescence, this rough phase, or really its toddler years.
If we can all be honest for a moment, as much as we all love Doodle Jump for about a week, it was pretty gimmicky. And the random generation of the platforms was awful from day one.
So we have a very pertinent question here. How compatible is the PlayStation VR with porn? We're actually not sure, but we will be sure to test that out.
Okay.
Oh, immediately.
Pornhub, yeah, doesn't Pornhub have an app on PS4? So I would not be surprised if PSVR gets support for it.
Guys, I'm going to distract you guys with unrelated GIF. And you
Please.
should show in the podcast. It's called This Is Why We Do Fire Drills. It is gaming related, though, so I feel like it is on point. Take a look.
But oh no!
Yeah, we should play Gary's mod for Sunday Fun Day one time.
That's a good idea.
It is a great idea, actually.
There's still a lot of people playing Gary's mod.
I
I
think
want to play
Gary's
that
mod
game where you
is,
play the furniture.
yeah. We can play Mafia on it. There's Mafia mode.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna buy Gary's mod right now.
You don't own it? What the hell is wrong with you?
I never owned Gary's mod. I never even launched it.
I could have sworn I played. I'm not sure if I own it, but I played it because I played the furniture hiding one.
That's what I want to play. I never played it, but I always wanted to.
Oh, Prop Hunt is fun as hell.
Prop Hunt, there you go.
All right,
So we had some pretty big news this week too. Should I take it?
Take it.
I'll take it. It was a big setback for Tree of Savior this week.
Uh-oh, what happened?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They pushed back to free to play about half a month. They said mid-May is going to go free to play. Originally, it was supposed to be the last week of April, so it should have been free to play, I believe, this week. But they pushed it back, and there's a sale on the VIP packages. Remember, they're 50% off. Somebody called us like literally a week before they come out.
Oh, you gotta mute yourself on Skype. There you go.
Sorry about that.
What happened?
Somebody called on Tree of Savior. There's a 50% off sale on the Founders Packs as well now, and somebody called us like literally a week before the game launched. How'd they know?
I don't know. Maybe they work on
Remember?
the inside.
Somebody told you not to buy the Founders Pack because.
Oh yeah.
And
Really?
it literally is 50% off now.
They announced that it would be though.
Oh, early on?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So what do the people who bought Founders Packs get now that it's 50% off? Anything? Or are they
Nope.
just kind of like, oh, too bad?
You
Well,
got to play before.
Oh.
That's it.
So,
That's
Okay.
it.
and that getting to play before is a big deal because, like, I read a lot of opinions from people that were paying $100 for the Conqueror's Pack for Black Desert, and basically the consensus was you're paying $100 to play it a few days early. It has nothing to do with the items in it. The people that are paying it want to play early. They want to get their grinding in. They want to get on top of everyone else.
Yeah, and they got their money's worth in Black Desert Online because getting that early experience was such a big deal because all the grind spots were so heavily camped once the general population got on.
It's true.
If you were hardcore, that was worth it for you. But I thought that this had to do with the tokens too, because they said the tokens were designed that you would get with the Founders Packs around same price level in all regions, right? But because of regional pricing on Steam, people were able to buy tokens and Founders Packs really cheap from the Russian region, and they play on the global region, and they're able to sell their stuff in game, and it distorted the market. So this is one way to fix that by making it almost it gets rid of regional pricing because the sale price is the regional price.
That is what they said.
That was their logic behind it. And they also said they weren't going to do regional servers, but now there's a South American server, a Southeast Asian server, and a European server. What's the deal with that?
Okay, I think it was a lot more popular than they anticipated.
But they said they weren't going to do it, and literally they have servers everywhere now. Full
I think
bait
Matt's
and
right. I
switch.
think it's way more popular. I mean, did you play those first couple of days? It was, lag city.
Unplayable.
How's it do on Steam Spy, guys? Let's check it out.
Steam charts?
Steam
Wow,
Spy.
Tree Saber has dropped dramatically in its player-based numbers.
Have you been to Steam
yeah.
Spy, by the way?
I've been to Steam Spy, yeah. I like Steam Spy.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking at Tree of Savior, and I'm like, I don't think this has lasting power. That's the thing.
Well, I'm not ready to call it yet.
I've been
expert, I
too
think.
busy. I've been too busy to play anything lately.
But do you
Wow.
want to play Tree of Savior?
I do, yes. But I don't know. I kind of want to play Melty.
Melty Blood. It's still doing pretty well.
Blood, but I'll play. I mean, I'm willing to play Tree of Savior, but I will admit it feels kind of grueling to play. At sometimes.
Wow.
Wow. When you describe the
Yeah.
game you're playing as grueling.
Well, I mean, it's just like the levels are. Oh my god, it's fucking.
So would you
What level
say
are
just-
you?
you're
it's
not
just
as hardcore as you used to be when you were younger?
100
apparently.
and something, 130, 40?
Yeah, none of us are as hardcore as we used to be.
No.
When you get older,
Well,
your
it's-
hardcoreness wears off.
It's not really that so much as like I've been finding it hard to find time to play because just
That's
a
the
lot of
excuse
stuff going on in
adults
my life
make
right
when
now.
they don't want to play games
what
all
an
day.
adult excuse.
It's literally the case. It's because of what happened. Pretty much, I found kittens in my neighbor's yard and we rescued them. So I'm taking care of I was at one point taking care of 7 cats, which was a pain in my ass.
Oh god.
Then I had to take.
So
I had
you're
to
literally
take
the
them
old cat lady
to Los
now. So
Angeles.
like I said.
Yeah, she was turning to the
I
old
mean,
crazy old cat lady.
I've already adopted a few of them out, but I'm just trying to find them homes. So if you guys know anyone that
Shoot, would you let me adopt a
Southern
cat?
California.
Shoot, would you let me adopt a cat if I told you I was going to eat it?
No,
It's not really adopting the cat so much as
no.
buying food, I guess.
These are pet cats.
But what's
I
the
don't care
difference?
what you do with
You're okay
you
with
want to
eating
make a
hamburgers.
cat factory, then no. I have nothing wrong with that. But these are pet cats. If you had a pet cow and I ate your cow, then that's a
No,
problem.
but you're giving them away. If you can't,
But as
if you can't
pets.
find
As
them,
pets, I'm giving them away as pets.
what if I said please?
All right, guys, we're running out of time, and we're talking about something random right here. So that's a good place to leave it. There it is, podcast episode 49. Thanks for watching. If you want to see it live, if you're watching it on YouTube, check out us on Twitch, live on Tuesdays, 12 noon
Yeah.
East time.
Make sure to always follow us. Remember, twitch.tv/MMOs.com. Tell your friends. Join us next week on the live version. Spread the word. We appreciate you guys spreading the word.
Yeah, MMOs.com. We are going to commit damage over time on you.
Oh. I feel DOT is not a term that's is used a lot these days. I feel people are forgetting.
No, right?
Falling out of favor. Falling out of favor. All right.
It is falling out of favor.
We're gonna keep talking about
Guys, it's
DOTs
fun
in the after show, so stick around if you're still watching us live. So take care, guys.
Guys, let's play some Melty. Let's play
Later,
some
guys.
Melty.
See ya.
See ya.
Later, guys.
Yeah.